I heard you're being too nice to people again. So here we are. How to be a part 3. Always putting other people's needs first. Bending over backwards for everybody else. But when the tables turn, who's there for you? And listen, I get it. I know you don't enjoy this dynamic. I know you don't like this reality, but yet we continue to people please and we continue to give our endless kindness to other people. Why? Because we are kind, good-hearted people. Wrong. Because you can be a and you can still be a kind, good-hearted person. Why? Because we are redefining the term. Being a isn't about being mean to others, putting others down, thinking you're better than others, spreading hate and insults. No. Being a is about knowing your worth, setting high standards, saying no, standing firm in your boundaries, and prioritizing yourself for a change. I know none of those things seem or wrong to you. But see, here's the problem. A lot of people don't know how to transition from chronic people pleaser, always being kind to others regardless of their actions, prone to letting people walk all over them, to I am a I am firm in that, I am independent, I am strong, I am confident, and I'm not gonna let you take advantage of me. There is a very long bridge between those two things, and today I'm here to smush that bridge and teach you how to be a But before we get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to my favorite brand, Squarespace, who is actually sponsoring this video. If you guys didn't know, Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for new, for budding, for experienced entrepreneurs. No matter what point you are at on your journey of starting a business, Squarespace is here to help you out. And as someone who has owned 2 businesses in the past, let me tell you, okay, you need the right platform to use and all of the right tools and information and advice at your disposal to be able to get through it. And having been on Squarespace, I can tell you firsthand, they do a really good effing job at it, okay? Because first of all, you have all of the amazing website templates that you can choose from. And then if you want to be an email marketer and send out email marketing campaigns, which will help you bring more traffic and then more sales to your website, Squarespace has even got you covered there because they also have a wonderful, beautiful, and professional looking array of email marketing campaigns for you to choose from, so you don't even have to waste time learning about it. Then that brings us onto Squarespace's blog. They teach you how to use every single tool and feature within that platform, along with teaching you really, really valuable business owner skills such as SEO, which is search engine optimization, or learning how to make a business without keeping any inventory or even selling any physical products. They also have a feature where you can easily integrate your Instagram, your TikTok, any socials you're on to be able to make another income stream out of it using Squarespace. And let's not forget about AI technology. Everybody's talking it right now, and Squarespace has already started to utilize it into that platform to make your life even easier by introducing Squarespace's design intelligence, which allows anyone to build a beautiful and even more uniquely tailored and beautifully designed website, which is personal to you and your brand's identity, which will be super bespoke and uniform across all of your online presence. So if you're interested, check it out using my unique link, which is squarespace.com/tamkaur, and using that link will actually get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. And right before I start, important, huge, amazing announcement. I have just launched the Self-Obsessed Scoop newsletter, which is basically a newsletter that gets delivered right into your email box every other Monday, full of exclusive advice, tips, links to tools, and videos and books and articles that I have read that is helping me on my journey right now. So sign up, the link is in the description. All you gotta do is put your email in there and you will immediately get access to all of the good stuff in this newsletter. And no, I'm never gonna send you any spam. And while you're in the description, be sure to check out all of my other socials, because on Instagram and on TikTok and on Snapchat, I am posting every single day. I'm posting about what I'm getting up to, how I'm progressing, what journey I'm on. You can keep up with me and you can still learn some amazing things. But without further ado, let's get into it and talk about how you become the Step number 1 of transitioning into your era involves overcoming all of the conditioning you have experienced on why you need to be a people pleaser, nice girl, always stay quiet, always be pleasant, always make sure people like you. That is BS. That keeps you so far behind in life. That leaves you at the mercy of other people. It means everybody else is always going to have power over you. No, people told us that so they can live their best lives and always get their way because they are controlling us. We're not about that, okay? And that means step number 1 in this process is don't be afraid to come across as a to anyone, ever. The more you have these second thoughts and this doubt of, but how is this going to come across, but what if they think this, or maybe I should say it in a different way to benefit them, the more you are taking away from your own energy and your own investment in yourself throughout your day, because you are always looking after everybody else. Now, let me tell you about something that I have learned on my journey just a few weeks ago. I am not responsible for other people's experience. I could be in a room and I could be enjoying myself. I want to talk to people. I want to learn about you. I want to step outside of my comfort zone. I want to make new friends and connections. If I am in a circle of new people and somebody here isn't really speaking, yes, the human, nice, amazing thing to do is to involve them, is to speak to them. And I always do that. But the people pleaser in me always used to take it a step further, where I was like, but maybe I should speak to them more. Even though I didn't want to. I wanted to go in that direction. Or I want to go over there. Or I want to try this out. But I was always trying to take care of other people in my head. And I think as women, we naturally feel that way anyway. We're super nice. We're emotional beings. But we've also been taught to always put other people's needs before our own. The second I got a little bit more selfish and I just started acting in the way that I wanted to, going where I wanted to go, speaking to the people I wanted to speak, my life got way more enjoyable. And guess what? Way less stressful. When you were in a room and you were instantly thinking about how can I make this person feel better, or how can I involve this person, or how they're gonna like me and how they're gonna perceive me, your life is just a never-ending to-do list. When do you get to switch off and just live life without worrying about anything? How is that fair to put yourself through that 24/7? So you have to run away from the fear that comes with having an image of being a because well and truly, why does it actually matter if other people see you that way? Because the other independent, strong, confident girls, they're gonna love it. They're gonna eat it up. They're gonna want you in their circle because they know, oh, we have self-respect and self-worth and confidence and you do too. You come with us, okay? Your energy matches their energy, which makes a wonderful, high-value friendship of girlies who have progressed on their self-improvement journey. Anybody else who doesn't like you for simply being confident, knowing what you want and going after it, wanted to control you in the first place, never had your best interests at heart at all. Why would you want them in your life? And remember, this is never about being rude or disrespectful to anybody, okay? That is not a cute look. We do not endorse any of that around here. It's simply about being assertive and standing in your confidence unapologetically, regardless of the situation. And I get it, it's gonna be a little bit unnerving when people start giving you the side eye, but remember, people aren't side eyeing you because you're doing something wrong or because all of a sudden you're a bad person. People sometimes become a little bit unsettled when you get on your growth journey and you start changing and growing and evolving from the box that they kept you in. And then the second you're like, you know what, I wanna improve. I want to grow a little bit. I want to do better for myself, which means now you're out of this box and that's a little bit confusing to some people. So remember that. It's never about you doing anything wrong. Step number 2 is to speak highly of yourself on purpose. One thing you have to understand is people hate a woman who knows her worth, who knows her value, and most importantly, a woman who speaks highly about herself. That's why these words of being vain and, lacking humility and, you should be humble, this is where they come from because it makes us play small. It makes us downplay our strengths. It keeps us quiet in rooms where we should be shouting about our strengths and all of our successes because that's the thing that's going to get us opportunities and get us further. Even without all of that, just understanding your worth and value without needing to say anything and boost your own confidence, your own self-esteem, your own self-perception, which means you are no longer going to be accepting or tolerating things which are below you. You need to understand that speaking highly of yourself isn't arrogant or immodest. It's a sign of self-respect. Imagine, right? You've put in so much work in your life so far. You got through school, maybe you got into uni, you studied hard, you pursued your hobbies, your passions, you met new people, you put yourself outside of your comfort zone, you get up every single day and you fight for another day. You've healed from the things that have broken you. You try your best to be the best possible person you can be, okay? That takes work, that takes time, that takes life experience. You've gone through all of that just to not even acknowledge it? What a disrespect and disservice to your inner child, to every single version of yourself that you have been who has fought to get you to where you are today, and you are incapable of giving them the pat on the back that they deserve? What? It is more than okay to acknowledge how far you've come, every obstacle you've defeated, how successful and intelligent you are. Because think about it this way, if that person over there had good grades and a great job and had accomplished so much and inspired others and had achieved so many other things, you would speak highly of them. You'd be bigging them up. You'd probably put them on a pedestal. Why can't you do that for yourself? And here's the thing with being loud in your self-love and owning all of your accomplishments and how far you've come without worrying about, I need to be quiet and modest and humble and, or it's going to look bad. Even if it looks bad and people label you as full of yourself or vain, honey, they were too insecure in the first place. You have just sped up the process in understanding who should be in your circle and who should not, okay? When you become so confident and so expressive in who you are and how much you love yourself and how confident and you are, that in itself is a filtering process. You are saving yourself so much time. If other people dislike the way that you are showing up in your own life because that's your authenticity and that's what fulfills you and builds the relationship you have with yourself, frankly, that's just not your problem. And at the end of the day, I want you to remember, me personally, okay, if I see a woman who just knows her power, who knows her value and isn't afraid to speak her mind, I am so inspired by that I then feel this urgency to want to speak to her, to then get to know her, to learn about her because of that. Which once again just goes to show, when you start being this way, you will attract people that are on that same level as you, who are also focused on improving themselves rather than everybody else who is so focused on shutting other people down because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And this brings us to step number 3, which is be prepared for the naysayers. Most of the time, change is met with discomfort. And a lot of people are not going to be happy with your transformation. And guess what? That's okay. If anything, that's actually beneficial to you, because while you're on this journey and people don't like the way that you're changing or it makes them uncomfortable and rifts are made and you start outgrowing people, that is such an important learning lesson for you. And that's going to help you grow in, first of all, trusting in yourself, following what you want rather than meeting other people's needs, and also realizing that disappointing people is a regular part of life because you were not born to live for them or please them. And also, it's healthy for you to dislike others and for other people to dislike you. That's how we get onto the path to finding the people that are actually meant for us. There's actually so much abundance in this. Don't think of it as this scary process that's just filled with loss and hate. Not only do you need to let go of what other people think about you, but you also need to stop putting other people's feelings first. I had this life-changing epiphany where if I was having a conflict with somebody, or somebody had annoyed me, or disrespected me, or just done something inappropriate, I would be very cautious in my response to them and how I handled it, so I wouldn't cause further conflict, or I wouldn't upset them, or I wouldn't make a big deal out of the situation. And that's just how I always handle things, which on the one side is, yes, okay, it's gracious, it's nice, it means I'm not putting all of my energy and time into arguing with another person. I do agree on that sometimes, but at the same time, I was like, hold up, why am I so concerned in being nice to a person who had no problem and no second thought when it came to disrespecting me in the first place unprovoked? And I'm out here trying to protect your feelings. Make it make sense. The next step to transitioning into your era is my favorite, and this is to stop over-explaining yourself. A lot of the time we find ourselves over-explaining or justifying our actions. And this can be in super small situations, like if somebody asks you, oh, what do you do for work? Or how is your business going? And you're like, oh yeah, so I set it up, but you know, it's only the beginning and like who knows where it's gonna go. And you know, I might just try it for a few months, or like I might, you know, get a part-time job. I don't know, it's just not too serious yet. You know, let's just see where it goes. Please. The correct answer to that question is, yes, I started a business and I'm really passionate about it and I can't wait to see where it goes. That's it. Or, yeah, and this is what I'm going through in the business right now and it's going really, really well. That's it. Short, concise answers that are truthful, because when we start to justify what's going on, when we start to over-explain, yeah, but this and this, and what you are trying to do there is you are trying to predict what the other person must be thinking about you, not even thinking about you, judging you about, and then you are trying to incorporate these premeditated responses into your response to hopefully try to make them judge you less. And you know why I know this? Because I used to do the same exact thing. But when you no longer give an F on what other people think about you, there's no reason to incorporate any of that over-explaining, justifying BS into your response. You are simply going to own what you do, and whatever response they have, it's not your responsibility to put that to rest or answer it for them. Sometimes it's your action itself that speaks volumes. It's you standing there saying, yes, I just started a business, it's going great, and not saying anything else, that speaks volumes about how confident you are about that and how powerful it is that you made that decision for yourself and that that's how you're living your life. And this links into the last step of this chapter, which is stop apologizing so damn much. Because let me tell you, 80% of the time you are saying sorry, it is so not needed. I'm talking when you're in a work environment or you're emailing somebody and you're like, oh my God, so sorry for the delay, or so sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. What do you mean, please? This is your life. You were owning your time. You got back to them when it was best suited to you and your schedule in whatever energetic capacity you had that day. You should not be apologizing for not doing something because it wasn't perfectly timed to somebody else's life and schedule. No, the would never do that. We only apologize if we have genuinely made a mistake or hurt somebody else where an apology is absolutely needed. But all of this, sorry this, sorry that in daily life when you are doing nothing wrong and simply going at the pace in which you can handle is not the one. Same with using sorry as a replacement for saying no. It's like you're trying to decline something because you don't want to do it, but then at the same time you're over apologizing about it, and then the two just cancel each other out. Like, hey, I really want you to come to this event. Oh my God, I'm so sorry I can't make it, but the thing is, like, I'm also doing this and then I'm really busy, but I've got this going on instead. You're over explaining and you're over apologizing. How about, hey, I can't go, my schedule just doesn't allow, but I hope you have a great time. Simple as that. Okay, that's what it means to be a bitch. You're confident. You're owning your decisions. You're not feeling bad for not living life on other people's terms. Slow. Moving on to chapter number 2, the reality of being a bitch. And this chapter is so necessary because embarking on this journey is not for everyone. It is not an easy road to go down. It is bold. It is out of the ordinary. It's going to cause some people to look at you a little bit weirdly. You gotta have some courage to be able to do this, and you gotta know what you are in for. The first thing you need to learn about embarking on this journey is that you have to embrace the temporary loneliness. Setting high standards, whether that be in how people treat you, in your friendships, in your relationships, in what you accept in your life, and where you spend your time, is hard. And it will leave you feeling way more isolated than if you just floated through life and never really took a second look at or questioned whether people are right for you and whether they serve your needs and are good for you, okay? Those types of people, they have everyone around them. And if that's what makes them happy, then fine. But the top of this, girlies, we want a little bit more. We want to make sure that our life is nice and intentional and serves us and our needs and the greater purpose of where we want to be in life and aligns to the dream version of who we are becoming. That takes high standards. High standards means some people are going to have to just move away from the inner circle. And that means getting really used to spending time alone. But you need to embrace this season and most importantly, hold gratitude for it. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it make you feel like you are unlucky or you're doing the wrong thing, because all you're actually doing is making space for the right connections to come into your life. You cannot experience new without removing the old. So don't let this period of losing people make you feel worse about yourself. I want you to remember, you chose this for yourself. You chose a better life, a better reality, a better day-to-day, a better feeling about yourself, better experiences with others because of this new mindset and because of this new lifestyle you have now adopted. If anything, use this period of solitude as an amazing gift and time of self-discovery, where now you can explore yourself even more. You can develop your relationship so much more, where you become even more confident. You will not be alone forever. This is simply a temporary part of the journey where you're in that shift, you're within the transition, you're not quite at the end yet, but it is so necessary. So remember to stick with it. Then we have the next difficult change, which is replacing external validation with self-validation. Listen, I know external validation, we all know it's not good for us, okay? But it does make us feel good, as do many things that aren't good for us in this life. And replacing it with self-validation and not feeling the need to need other people to like you or need other people to affirm that you're doing the right thing or you look the right way can be really, really hard because our ego literally craves it. As you continue to elevate, as you become so fearless in who you are and so confident, other people are going to find it less necessary and are going to be less excited about the process of complimenting you. Whether that's true or not doesn't really matter, none of your business. Because while other people might not be ready to celebrate the person you are becoming, you are going to be there with all of the balloons, being your own cheerleader and celebrating how far you've come and the difficult changes you have had to make in getting here. Because let me tell you from my own life experience, no one is ever going to be able to validate you the way you can validate you, because nobody knows you like you know you. Nobody knows exactly what you need like you, because nobody has experienced every single thought in your head every single second of the day. You are the most well-equipped to make yourself feel better about yourself, and it's time to start acting like it. So next time you're experiencing a little bit of self-doubt, you don't know what decision to make, you don't know if your selfie was cute or not, instead of asking others, instead of over-justifying yourself, over-explaining yourself, relying on other people's opinions, living your life according to what other people think, remember, your opinion is the most valid one, and it's time to live by that. You don't need other people to affirm your identity because you already know exactly who you are, and quite frankly, nobody else ever could. And lastly, a super harsh reality of being on this journey is the fact that you will be so misunderstood. But despite that, even if you were the nicest person in the world, you would still be misunderstood. Why? Because being misunderstood is such a key, normal part of life. Nobody on this planet could fully understand us unless they had lived every single thing we have experienced in this life with every single thought and emotion that accompanied it. That is the only way somebody could ever fully 100% understand you. Other people can come into your life and understand you or your feelings to an extent, but the person that is always going to understand you the most is you. Even if you are nice, even if you are showing up to everybody, people are still going to misunderstand you. They might think that you're not genuine. They might think that you are just kissing up to people. They might think that you have bad intentions. They might think that you're a tryhard, even if none of those things are true. So really, whether you are a people pleaser, nice girl, or whether you are a bitch who doesn't really talk to people because she stays in her own lane, doesn't really matter. Both of them are going to be misunderstood by other people, and both of them will experience hate. But guess what? Only one of them gets you a reality which is peaceful and doesn't leave you at the mercy of other people's power and opinions. The more you are misunderstood, the more you can be reassured in the fact that you are on your own path and you are not living for anybody else. The more that people question as to why you are being a certain way, why you're talking like that, why you're living like that, why you're making these choices, just goes to show you are living in your authenticity. If everyone was okay with what you were doing all the time, I would say you're playing it a little bit too safe and a little bit too small and a little bit too good for everybody else's opinions. I think you should shake it up. I think you should try something different because life is short and you only get one. So please don't let other people's opinions and other people's lack of understanding discourage you from flourishing in your bad bitch era. Because let me tell you, it's gonna change your life. And that brings us to the end of this video. How to be a bitch part 3. Oh my god. If you haven't seen the other versions, be sure to check them out. They're all in a playlist on my channel. This was so fun. I love putting on my fur coat, channeling all of the correct energy. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of this video because it helps me make even better videos for this channel when I understand what's going through your mind, when I understand what you like, what you want to hear more of. And in the meantime, if you want more of a confidence boost, then go check out my podcast. It's called the Self-Obsessed Podcast. And with that being said, I will see you same time next week on Friday for a brand new video. I appreciate you. Bye.